Mars is finally re-entering the sign of Leo. On April 18th, the planet Mars, known for its drive, aggression, and passion, is finally going to enter the fiery, dramatic sign of Leo. Leo energy is so known for being very performative. It's known for being kind of the entertainer of the zodiac. It is ruled by the sun, which is very associated with the Greek god of Apollo. Theater, performance, drama, everything bright, bold, and colorful and fun is all Leo tends to rule over. So when we have Mars finally re-enter the sign of Leo, things are going to start shifting and changing very dramatically. Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Here we like to talk about astrology, numerology, and everything written in the stars for you. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the planet Mars and what is going to happen when Mars finally re-enters the sign of Leo. We're going to be talking about how this is going to affect us globally as a society, as well as how it's going to affect you based on your sun, moon, and rising sign. So let's get into it. When we think about what happened when we just recently had Mars transit the sign of Cancer. Cancer is known for our domestic home life. It's where we live. It is all the things that affect us emotionally and our innermost deep-rooted emotions. It has a lot to do with our home life, the place where we live, where we call home, and what really roots us in the ground. Cancer energy is also very associated with our mental health, really just a lot of things involving what helps us emotionally, what makes us happy, and the things that really drive us emotionally. When we think about Cancer, we think about emotions, home life, where we physically are, the house that we are in, things of that nature. So when we had Mars, the planet of aggression, the planet of drive, action, war, transiting the sign of Cancer, which it entered January 6th, we saw this huge upheaval within our society, and not just within the US. We saw this globally as a society. We saw things happening with our home turf. We saw planes crashing down. We saw natural disasters. We saw a lot of things happen with where we live. And a lot of these things really affected us emotionally. We saw people's houses burn down. We saw people emotionally be affected by planes crashing down. Think very emotional. We saw things start happening in the US that was kind of very jarring for our emotions. We saw a lot of very intense things happening, and people really started talking about it because of how emotionally unsettling things were happening in the US. And we're thinking from January 6th all the way through April 17th. So a lot of things have been happening with our emotions and our home turf when Mars was transiting the sign of Cancer. What made the Mars Cancer transit more impactful was the fact that it was really in the sign for a very long time. We saw this transit happen for about 3 months when a normal Mars transit lasts about 2 months, and that's because we originally started with Mars retrograde. It was in the retrograde cycle for about a month and a half until it turned direct, and all through March and part of April we saw Mars transit through the sign of Cancer going direct. But during that Mars retrograde cycle, it felt like things just kind of like backing up in order to then progress forward. But there were so many emotionally unsettling things that happened during Mars in Cancer. Even in 2024, we also had Mars in Cancer. Throughout the past 12 months, 5 of those months, we have had Mars in the sign of Cancer. And there's been a lot of things happening with our home life, our emotions, and very intense things happening as well. We did see Mars in the sign of Leo in about November and December of 2024. So we got a little bit of a taste of kind of a different energy for a while. And now on April 18th, things are going to start transitioning back into that energy. So if you remember where you were and what you were doing in December of 2024, you're going to experience a very similar energy depending on your sun, moon, and rising sign and how you resonate with Leo energy in general. If you know that you typically do well with Leo energy, or if you have Leo energy natally, you'll most likely be able to have more of a lighthearted, fun time. Whereas if Leo is in your 8th house, your 4th house, your 12th house, it could get a little intense for you just depending on how you resonate with Leo energy. You could be very watery and earthy, and Leo energy is kind of jarring for you. So you might not be able to resonate with it as much. However, if you're an Aries or a Libra or a Gemini or any of the other air or fire signs, you most likely do really well with Leo energy and you really like it. Like you have Leo friends, you get along with them really well. Most likely for you, this Mars transit is going to be a little bit better for you. It's not going to be as intense as you've experienced when Mars was in Cancer. I will say about Mars transits in general, Mars transits are kind of where you're going to have more of an aggressive focus focus in your life. You could also feel this like gut urge and feeling like compelled to do something depending on the house that Mars transiting for you. You could feel this like innermost instinct and like a gut urge to do something in order to accomplish something or take action towards something. I would say, especially with Mars transits, it's more like you taking action towards something aggressively and very quickly. Mars is very fast moving, it's very quick. So when we have a Mars transit, that area of life that is more lit up is going to feel more intense and kind of like an instinctual gut urge to do something in that area of life. For example, if you have Mars transiting your 4th house, you'll feel this gut instinct and this gut urge to start cleaning up your home, remodeling your home, anything involving your home life. You feel this like urge to change it. You feel this like urge to take action for it. And it'll feel like, again, like an innermost gut urge and an instinct in order to do so. Mars transits, the way that they affect us globally as a society, it's more like the entire globe tends to transition into a new energy. For example, when we just saw Mars transit through the sign of Cancer, globally, we saw this energy shift where everything now is kind of forced to be emotional and was unintentionally about our home life. It was Mars taking aggressive action towards the home life. Example, when we had homes burned down or natural disasters hit, it became a aggressiveness towards our home life and it aggressively took on our emotions. All the things that Cancer rules over, it brings an aggressiveness to it. It is intense and it happens very fast. So now what is going to happen when we have Mars transit through the sign of Leo? Leo, again, is known for its drama, its dramatics, its theatrical performance. It's all about being in the spotlight. When we had Pluto transit through the sign of Leo, we saw the golden age of Hollywood. It's that energy. It's being in the spotlight. It is being theatrical and performative. It's also a lot about wearing your heart on your sleeve and taking brave action towards something. A fictional example is Harry Potter. He's a Leo. So that energy, he wears his heart on his sleeve. He is in the spotlight and leading people. So we can predict that when Mars transits through the sign of Leo, we will see new people rise into the spotlight. We will see new people either become celebrities, all of a sudden start going super viral on social media. We will see new people come into the limelight. And this will be kind of like an aggressive, fast-paced transit where the chosen people will all of a sudden go into the spotlight. They will all of a sudden be in the spotlight for some reason. And this is also very indicative of the fact that all of our generational planets are currently going through a major change. We just had Pluto enter Aquarius, Neptune just entered Aries in April, and very, very soon we will also have Saturn join Neptune in the sign of Aries, and come July we will have Uranus in the sign of Gemini. And let's not forget, Jupiter will also be transiting into the sign of Cancer come June. So we're going to see this huge energetic shift. And what happens when we have like big energetic shifts, especially with the generational or outer planets, is new people come into the spotlight, new people come into prominence, new celebrities come into the spotlight. We saw this so much in like 1996 when Pluto shifted into the sign of Sagittarius. We saw all the outer planets transition into a brand new sign. What happened was we saw a bunch of new people come into the spotlight and come into prominence. Especially now that we have Neptune in the sign of Aries, which is all about new beginnings, we're going to see a lot of new people come into the limelight and come into prominence. We're going to see a lot of new celebrities, and this Mars through Leo transit is going to be that thing that initiates and really brings these new people into the spotlight. It's going to force new people into the spotlight and put them there. It is going to be like all of a sudden they're going to be called and be forced to be in this new position where they're in the spotlight and everyone can see them. So that's what we're going to kind of see globally as a society. We're going to see new people come into prominence, and they might not necessarily be just like celebrities or just people who are famous. It could be people who are now called to be in the spotlight to help us as a society because of everything that happened when we had Mars in Cancer. We saw a big shift and change, and we saw this emotional upheaval. And with Neptune currently transiting the sign of Aries, we are also going to see people who have this like desire to change and initiate new beginnings. They might see what's happening in our media and have an emotional response to it, and all of a sudden they feel very brave and rise to a position of leadership, whether it's in their community, online, on social media. They're going to rise into this prominence and new position of leadership. And we're going to start seeing more people take more brave action towards things. I would say we'll even see kind of like a miniature renaissance where people are creating things, but also doing so with a way of, I am being brave, I am getting my voice heard, I am in the spotlight, and I'm helping people with my creativity. That's what you're going to typically see when you see this Mars and Leo transit. Now, Mars is going to transit the sign of Leo until about June, when it then transitions into the sign of Virgo. So I'm going to go ahead and go through all of the rising signs so you can get a sense of how this transit is going to personally affect you. I would check your sun, moon, and rising sign to get a full sense of how this will personally affect you. So let's start with Aries Rising. When Mars was transiting Cancer, you had kind of more of an emotional time. You had more intensity as it pertained to your home life than anyone else. You could have felt like something very quickly went through your home life and it changed in some way. And now, after you're done with all of the emotional turmoil, like, you're gonna feel more compelled to start creating things, tap into your talents, create something beautiful that we can all see. And you could also want to put yourself in the spotlight in some way because your fifth house is ruled by Leo. So you could want to put yourself in the spotlight to kind of showcase like what you can do, and also really tap into those innermost intense emotions that you felt when Mars was in Cancer. All of the things that happened to you during that time, you'll want to channel it into a creative medium. You might again also see yourself in the spotlight. Maybe you're posting it on social media. Maybe you're doing something to help you gain a lot of visibility there. And again, whenever you have Leo ruling a house, it's in the spotlight. Leo is ruled by the sun. When you think about the sun, it's illumination. It is putting a big light and shining a spotlight on that area of life for you. So you're also most likely really talented, but it'll gain a lot of fame and like visibility there as well. You could also decide to start having more fun. You could all of a sudden attract a new friend group and you're partying and having fun, or you could start to date more and new people come into your life who find you very attractive, ask for your number, and all of a sudden you're going to restaurants and bars and things like that, and you're having a lot of fun. But remember, Aries, during this time, who comes into your life very quickly when Mars transits your fifth house? They will leave quickly as well. So you have to remember that. Like, a lot of these people who enter your life during this time might be more short term. If you're a Taurus rising, Mars is going to be transiting your fourth house of home life, emotions, who you are when you're at home. This has a lot to do with who you surround yourself with. What is your living situation? What does your house look like? All of these things that make up your own home life. You might also start to have more aggressive and intense emotions around this time as well. Maybe something happens with your home life. Maybe something happens with your living situation. Something very aggressive and fast, like a whirlwind, will come in and do something with your living situation in order to change it for you without you really asking. It'll just do it. And because of this, you could have an emotional reaction to it. You might have very intense emotions around your home life, the things you want to do in your home life. You might also seek to improve your home life in a way. You could decide to start renovating your home. Like, you could have very intense emotions about your home life at this time, and all of a sudden you want to renovate your house. You want to change your living situation. You want to change the furniture in your house. There's going to be something about your home life and aggressiveness towards it that is going to force you to change it. You might also find that all of a sudden, very quickly and aggressively, a lot of women could enter your life. Maybe all of a sudden you get a new job and you're working with only women, or maybe you enter a new friend group that is predominantly women. There's going to be some sort of emphasis on women in your life, and it's going to come in very quickly, very aggressively. Your relationships with women at this time could be very aggressive. Something could happen with your relationships with women during this time. It could bring in drama or even passive aggressiveness around this time as well. So Taurus Rising, I know you've been through it for the past few months, but now you're going to find more of a way to change your life and change your living situation. And once you reach the end of these 2 months in like June, you are going to then transition into a much lighter and more fun time periods. Gemini Rising, you are going to experience a lot of things involving the mind. You might all of a sudden start feeling like you need to read a lot of books or increase your knowledge knowledge in some way. You could want to increase your knowledge in order to get a better understanding of the world and a better understanding of what is happening. You could all of a sudden feel this compelledness to listen to more podcasts, read more books, listen to more audiobooks, do something like that in order to increase your knowledge. You might do this very quickly and aggressively as well. You could be in school and cramming for exams at this time. You could be doing something involving being forced to increase your knowledge. You could have a big test you have to study for. You could have a lot of homework that you have to do. You could have a lot of stuff with your job where you have to increase your knowledge very aggressively and very quickly in order to deliver that presentation or create that document for the people who you work for. You could have something like that happen where you kind of feel very compelled to do so, kind of like a gut urge. You could also, again, could be studying for the SATs, ACTs, some sort of like major exam, and you could be cramming at this time and feel this like force within you very intensely make you want to increase your knowledge. When we think about Mars transits, it's very quick and aggressive and very intense, so you could really feel this when it comes to your knowledge and increasing your knowledge. If you're a Cancer rising, you are going to be going through a period of your life where you seek to increase your finances. You want to increase your finances. You might have all of these really good ideas for new business ventures. You might all of a sudden get a download from the universe and you're like, I need to create a product. I need to start that YouTube channel. I need to start posting on TikTok. I got to start doing these things. And you could also feel like you have to start doing this in order to increase your finances or become more financially stable. You could feel this compelledness within you. You could do it erratically and aggressively and without much thought or drive, just rushing headfirst into a new business venture or a product or a social media channel to help you increase your revenue or income. You could feel very compelled to do so, like almost like there's another force from the universe really making you do this in order to become financially stable. You could have something in your life happen with your finances. So you could feel like, oh my gosh, well, I have to do this now because I have to pay rent. I have to be able to afford groceries. I have to be able to afford tuition. I have to do these things so I can be able to survive and be able to live. You could have something like that happen. And any ideas you have right now for like a new business venture, you could also feel like part of your fate in order to create it. So you could feel this like push from the universe forcing you to do this at this time. It's kind of like all of a sudden now is the time to do it. Now is the time to really start pushing yourself forward and finally doing the thing that you know you're supposed to do for your own visibility and mental health and your financial situation. You could feel like all of these things, like now is the time to do it. Now is the time that you have to do it. And Mars is going to help you do it. It's going to help you get to the place where you know you need to be financially and know where you need to be with your business or with your side hustle or anything like that. If you are a Leo rising, get ready because the next 2 months are going to be a major glow up for you. You're going to start to feel this intensity about your appearance. You're going to start to feel this gut urge to start taking care of yourself better. You might all of a sudden feel like, oh, well, my vision board right here, now is the time to finally make my life look like this. Now is finally the time where I change my hair color. I finally get that perm. I change my wardrobe. I want to start making my life look like my vision board on Pinterest. This is what I want to do. So you might feel like all of a sudden you have this gut urge and you're more compelled to accomplish what you want to do with your appearance. You could feel like you have to do it for your job, or you could feel like you have to do it for just to attract more people into your life. Leo risings, you also have Pluto currently transiting your 7th house of partnerships, best friends, relationships, any long-term romantic partner. So maybe you want to start attracting more people into your life and you think you need to do it through a glow up or going to the gym more often, taking better care of your body or changing your wardrobe, something like that. You could also start to learn more about makeup and change the way you do your makeup. You could start to do a lot more things like that in order to appear more better looking for other people because you are trying to attract a lot of people into your life. You might also feel like it's more like a gut urge to do it, not necessarily. You could feel like it's like an instinct, like now is the time I am finally going to the gym. Now is the time I am finally going to start working on getting a 6-pack. You could start feeling like that. You could start feeling like you need to do it and you're going to feel like more of like a gut urge. And because of that, throughout the next 2 months, you're going to go through a major glow up and people are going to find you more attractive than you already are. As if you are not already attractive being a Leo rising, and then having Pluto going through your 7th house, many people are going to find you really attractive and either want to be your best friend or be in a romantic relationship with you. Virgo risings, you might spend more time alone during this time. You could spend more time alone and with your thoughts. You could also all of a sudden feel this urge and compelledness in order to focus on your spiritual self. You could all of a sudden go through something that pushes you into a new situation where you discover you're going through a spiritual awakening and could start to try to figure things out through astrology, tarot, numerology, something like that, something very deeply rooted in spiritual themes to help you progress to that next level of your life. You could find yourself going through something involving a area ruled by 12th house systems. Maybe you're in the hospital for some reason, or maybe you have to start working with a hospital. Maybe you're a contractor, maybe you are some sort of consultant and you have to start working with hospitals. Maybe that's a big part of your job and you start working with those systems more and more. You might also find that during this time you're wrapping things up into completion and you are closing out old cycles to get ready for a brand new cycle and getting ready for more of a better life. Virgo risings, you might all of a sudden start cleaning your house more. You could start taking better care of your clothes. Maybe you start doing more laundry. Maybe you're cleaning. Maybe you're doing something to prepare for that next level and prepare for that next chapter of your life. Maybe you're trying to close things out. Maybe you are cooking more and meal prepping more. Maybe you feel like you're preparing yourself for something. Something like that is going to happen for you when you have Mars transiting your 12th house. And it might come in very quickly. Like, again, you could find yourself in a situation where you're trying to increase your spiritual knowledge and you're doing it very fast and kind of intensely and aggressively. Something like that could very likely happen for you. Libra risings, this upcoming Mars transit for you is going to come in relatively quickly. You might find yourself all of a sudden pushed into new friend groups. You could start getting invitations to social networking events. You could have been working really, really hard since January on your public image and who you are in the limelight. Maybe you're posting more on social media. Maybe you are attending more events. Maybe you are sharing your story and sharing yourself more and more and more. And as a result of that, people will start entering your life starting on the 18th with invitations to parties and networking events. Rub elbows with people who will help you within the next few months become the person who you're supposed to be. Recently, you've been tapping into your more creative side as Pluto has been transiting your 5th house of creativity, entertainment, joy. And you've been working so hard since February. You've had so many 6th house transits. Really, this Mars transit for you, Libra rising, you are going to feel like things are going to start aggressively pushing you forward. When Mars enters your 11th house, you are going to feel like all of a sudden people are going to start opening doors for you. You're going to get that invitation. You're going to get that opportunity to be around more people. And also, if you've been posting more on social media, you might find that your social networks might start growing and growing, and you might be able to gain like a mass following on social media, which will set you up for success for when Jupiter starts to aspect your 10th house in your midheaven starting in June. You might feel like this is one big setup for you to reach the next level of your life in public visibility, fame, and recognition. You're working so hard creatively. You're pushing yourself with your day-to-day life, your day-to-day routine. You're grinding every single day and you're working really, really hard every single day. And you're going to find like all of that hard work that you just put in is going to start paying off. You're going to start reaping the benefits of this. And Mars transiting your 11th house is going to attract the people into your life that's going to set you up for the next level. You might start getting, again, invitations to go networking. If you're a content creator, which is very indicative of having Mars transiting your 11th house, you might all of a sudden get that brand deal invite and you are at a party with people who are also content creators and you start meeting a lot of very famous content creators. You could all of a sudden get somebody sliding into your DMs, inviting you to a party and they happen to be famous or something like that. Something will happen for you where you're finagling with more people and rubbing elbows with more people who will help you when when Jupiter starts aspecting your 10th house and puts you into the limelight. It's going to open doors for you. Mars transiting your 11th house is going to feel fast and aggressive, but it's also going to open those doors up for you. It's also going to help you get to be where you need to be. It's going to help you reach the area of life where you need to reach in order to become that next level of you and get to be the next level in the spotlight. People are going to enter your life. People are going to help you. You're not necessarily going to do it all by yourself. And really on the 18th, this is going to start for you, because once we hit May, Libra Rising, more people will enter your life. So many people are going to start entering your life so very soon. Like, you might feel like you're alone or isolated right now. Forget about that, because come May, you're going to have so many new best friends that are going to help you reach that new level of your life. You're no longer going to be alone. People are going to come into your life. People are going to help you. People are going to push you into that next level of your life. They're going to see you. They're going to find you, and you're going to be pushed into a new area where people will help you become that new level of fame, visibility, and notoriety that you so seek to be in. Scorpio Rising, you are going to be having these next 2 months heavily focused on your public image. You have been so focused on your own personal creativity. Throughout the past few months, you could have been creating more social media content, creating more art, creating things that really involve a lot of your creativity. You could have also been having a lot more fun recently. Maybe you went to Coachella, maybe you went to a bunch of music festivals, maybe you're partying and going to clubs, maybe you're meeting more people who want to have fun with you and want to help you get into that next level. And starting on the 18th, you specifically are gonna all of a sudden start working harder for your public image. Maybe all of that stuff you've been working on social media, you're like, oh, I don't know if it's good enough. I don't know if I'm like doing enough. All of a sudden, you're gonna feel this instinct, this gut urge beginning on that 18th, where you're gonna start working really hard to post on social media. You wanna be seen, you wanna be in the public eye, you want to be visible. People want to see you as well. They wanna see you succeed. They wanna see what you can do. They want to see you in the limelight, and you're gonna start working really hard for it. You're gonna start all of a sudden, again, feeling this gut instinct and this gut urge to get up in the limelight, get into the spotlight, write that song, make those posts, start working on your YouTube channel. You're gonna start doing something to push you into that level. You might also find that you're not a content creator or don't want to be a content creator. You could also, if you work like a 9-to-5 job, you might find that you work in the creative industry in some way. You create things for people, and all of a sudden you could start to have these like aggressive things happening at your work where you're getting pushed up into the spotlight and your coworkers are a little upset about it, but it's part of your destiny to be there. So you're supposed to be in the spotlight. You're supposed to be in the limelight. And you might again find more aggressiveness with these authority figures. Like maybe it's your boss, maybe it is somebody higher up at work, and you're going to find this tension and aggressiveness there, and it's going to come in very fast, and it's going to stay there. It's going to continue to stay there, but even to the point where it could mess with your mental health a little bit. Scorpio Rising, this is just more of like a transformational period for you. Like, it is a transformational period for you that will help you get to that next level, that will help you reach that new level of visibility. And even if you have some sort of power struggle with authority figures, you will reach that next level, and you could get a promotion out of it. You could find that that power struggle just leads you into more visibility and getting that promotion at work, or rising above your jealous coworkers, or rising above your boss, rising above all these people who try to hold you back. And you are going to find a lot more power in it. And the more you're visible, the more you will find you have more power in your work life. Sagittarius Rising, you are going to find that throughout the next 2 months, you're going to travel more. You're going to want to travel. You're going to want to increase your reach throughout the entire globe. You want to go visit that country. No matter what's happening with our planes right now, you know, you want to go visit Canada. You want to go to Asia. You want to visit Japan. You want to visit Korea. You want to go to all those places, and you want to go to those places and increase your knowledge of the culture. Learn more from different cultures. You might even want to visit like a state or something. Like maybe you want to go to California. Maybe you want to go to New York City. Maybe you want to go to a really big city and learn from those people. You want to increase your knowledge and travel more. You might also receive more travel opportunities as well. Like more people might enter your life with the opportunity to travel. You could also find that these travel opportunities that you receive, it's going to happen fast, aggressively, And maybe all of a sudden your friend who's like a travel advisor for something, or a flight attendant or a pilot, they start inviting you places and you're like, oh well, I guess I'm going to Florida because it's nice and warm there. And it just kind of happens for you. Like, all of a sudden you are going and traveling places, and it is so much fun. And being a Sagittarius rising, like, you love travel, you love it so much, you love seeing new places and increasing your knowledge and wisdom of different places and cultures. You might also read more books or do something that increases your knowledge in general. Capricorn rising, you might experience some turbulence and intensity throughout this next 2-month period. You could experience some very traumatic things. People could actually come out of the woodwork and traumatize you for some reason. Like, you're gonna have some sort of weird intensity there, and it might come out of the blue. You might not 100% understand why this is happening to you, but as a result of that, you could also attract other people's resources into your life. You could attract large sums of money unexpectedly. Maybe you get like an inheritance unexpectedly, or someone gives you a large lump sum of money unexpectedly to help remove you from the toxic situation that you're in. You could also feel like you could attract like large unexpected sums of money at this time as well, because like people will be entering your life and be more willing to help you due to the situation that you're in. You could feel like the people who are going to be in your life and around you during this time might be more likely to help you with whatever is happening in your life currently. You could feel like these people are here to help you progress to the next level and remove you from a toxic situation, help you with everything happening in your life, and help you out financially. You might also feel like a lot of this stuff happens extremely quickly and aggressively, and you might feel like kind of powerless as well, like you relinquished your control, and now you have to find a way to finagle your way out of the toxic situation, whether it's a friend group or if it's a work environment. You have to find your way into a new chapter of your life, and other people are going to start coming into your life to help you with their resources, help you with their cars, their houses, their own personal monetarily resources. And you could also, again, attract a large sum of money in some way as well. Maybe you play the lottery and all of a sudden it comes to you, or maybe you have to start working on your taxes and learn that you get a large tax break for some reason, and you're like, oh well, I just got all of this money back from taxes. You could receive something like that in your life during this time. Aquarius rising, throughout the next few months you are going to find a big boost in your own personal attractiveness. People are going to start entering your life with the intention of getting into a relationship with you, and you might find that recently you've gone through this major glow up. Like, all of a sudden people are finding you more attractive, or you're working harder on your body, or you changed your hair color, you changed your wardrobe, you changed the way you do your makeup, and all of a sudden, like now, April 18th through June, people find you really attractive and they want to be with you. They want to be with you, or they want to be your best friend. They want to be in a romantic relationship with you, or they want to be like your best friend and your bestie and with you forever. You're going to start finding that more people start inviting you to things, and you're there. Like, you're getting invited to parties, you're going to different restaurants, you're going to bars, you're going to places where people find you very attractive, and you're attracting a lot of people as well. Like, more people are entering your life. They're like, hey, that person's kind of cute, I like the way they look, I want to ask for their number. You could get a lot of opportunities like that. Maybe you're also attracting business partners into your life who want to give you modeling contracts or acting opportunities or brand deals or something like that, that will attract those people into your life. And you're like, this is so strange, why am I attracting all these partnerships and people? This Mars transit for you is going to come in very aggressively, very fast. You're not going to fully get why this is happening to me. This is just gonna come in very fast, come in very aggressively, and all of a sudden you have new partnerships in your life. Relationship, think romantic relationships, best friends, and business partnerships. And Pisces rising, you're gonna experience a big shift in your work life. Your work life is gonna change in some way. You're gonna find that all of a sudden you're gonna have more tension with your boss, your coworkers. Something's gonna happen with your work life, and even potentially your health as well, because those things are very intertwined with one another. Maybe you experience more aggressiveness in your day-to-day routine. Maybe something happens with your day-to-day routine where things are shifting and changing in it, and you feel this tension there. And all of a sudden, you'll feel this gut urge and this instinct to change it. You're gonna change your work life, you're gonna change your coworkers, You're going to change everything about it because you no longer want to be in a tense, harsh work environment. You're going to start changing your work life, changing your day-to-day routine in order to become a higher version of yourself and become the next best version of yourself. You're no longer going to be dealing with aggressiveness or dealing with intensity. You want to improve your life, improve your home life, improve your day-to-day routine, improve your health. Sometimes being around those people like your coworkers and your boss and things like that are not healthy for you. So you might even decide to change jobs. Again, think very rapidly, aggressively, very fast. You're going to change jobs. You're going to change the way that you are in the universe. You know, you're going to change things, and it's going to set you up for the next level of your life. You're going to start feeling better, and things in your work life and your day-to-day routine are going to start shifting and changing in your favor, and better things are going to start happening to you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this gave you more insight on how this new Mars and Leo transit is going to affect you as well as us globally as a society. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post new videos every single week.